So far with our homepage, we have our basic HTML and CSS structure. But now we kind of want to make it a little nicer, or at least look a little nicer. I'm going to start with this video by doing some coloring. We're going to kind of fine tune our color scheme we have. Now, I'm not a graphic design expert, so I'm going to use a tool to help me. The website I'm going to suggest is this one. I don't know how you say it. I'm going to assume it's called Coolors or something like that. You can Google it. I'll put a link in the description as well. It's free, you don't need to sign up, and it gets the job done. Two options: you can use the generator or you can explore trending palettes. I'll show you how the generator works. When you click this, it's going to generate a random color palette that's somewhat cohesive, where the colors kind of work nicely together. If you don't like it, you can click space. It'll send you a new version. So you can keep clicking space over and over till you find one roughly you like. If you like a certain color, you can lock it down here. Maybe I like these two right there. So these two will now stay, and if I click space, it will change the other three. So you can kind of play around with it that way. You can lock them until you find a color scheme that you like. If you want to add more than the default of 5 colors, you can click plus in between two colors. It'll give you a color that's in that kind of range. So maybe I want a greenish brown one over here, and it'll give me those. You can delete them, etc. So you'll basically need to do that until you find a palette that you like. If you want to see ones that other people have made, you can click colors over here, click explore trending palettes. And if you don't want to do this yourself, you can pick one of these. What I usually do then is click the dots, click open in generator, and now here is our section. Okay, so I have one picked out already. I'd recommend you get maybe like 6 or 7 colors if possible. It's good to have options. We don't want to have too few when we're making our website. Will post a link to this in the description, so if you want to follow along with it, you can do so. And yeah, let's use this. So I want to use all these colors. We can see their names are down here. But what we're going to use are these, what are called hex values. So these numbers and letters represent the color. Now we could copy and paste them, but the website actually makes it really easy for us. If you go up here to export and click it, different options, the URL is what I'll provide you all in the description, but we're going to use CSS right here. If you click that, it will actually generate a bunch of CSS for us, so we don't even have to type all of it out. It will do the description of the color and the hex value. So the property is the description and the hex value is the value. There's a bunch of options here. We're just going to use the CSS hex. You can go ahead and just copy this. I just copied this section, don't need to copy the whole thing. Let me show you where we can put it. So right now I'm in the homepage.css. I'm going to go to the very top here. And we're going to use a selector called root. The selector begins with this colon here. It's a special selector. And then we'll do the squiggly brackets. Root applies to everything. It's like the body, but more broad. So this is going to be colors that exist everywhere, so that we have access to them throughout our entire CSS and HTML page. Go ahead and paste that information in there. It might not paste well, so I'm just going to highlight the parts that are not indented and click tab. Okay, so the website actually did most of the work for us. We don't have to type any of this. You can see the colors here as well, powder blue, etc. And now we can go ahead and save it. Now by doing this, we don't actually do anything. Like if I go to my website, like it's not changing anything. We've just basically installed the colors in CSS. We haven't used them. So let's start to do that. I'm gonna kind of exit out some of this, bring this over, close this down a little bit. Just get that kind of side by side here. Okay. So let's see if we can update some of our coloring. Let's say I want to change this, the global background to be this powder blue. So that is happening here down in the light blue. If you want to use these colors we've made in the root, we're going to use what are called variables. So essentially what we've done here with these two dashes is you're saving something. You're saying anytime you write this, you get this hex color. And we don't understand hex colors very well. If I see like 3D5, whatever, I don't know what color it is. But the word blue here indicates, oh, it's some sort of blue. So we're going to use these over here instead of the values. So what a variable does is it stores this value in this description. To access it, let's delete this background color here. You're going to use the keyword var for variable. And when you type var and click tab, you'll see these parentheses. You need to pass something in. So you're going to pass in one of these descriptions. You'll see them pop up right away, which is nice because we don't need to memorize it. I'm going to do powder blue. And now the way CSS interprets this is, oh, you want the powder blue description, I should use this color. If I save this and run it over here, you notice a small change. Not quite too much because we're using light blue, but somewhat of a change. Okay, let's see if we can add in some of the other coloring down here. For my outer box, maybe I'll use this melon color. So I'll delete that, do var, and then dash dash. We'll see melon show up. You can also type it. Okay. And for my inner boxes, let's change those as well. Var, what should we use in here? Maybe I'll use the burnt sienna here. Okay. Let's save that. Let's refresh. Okay. Looking okay. Maybe some adjustments I could do. Let's see if we could maybe adjust some of these borders. For the outer border here on the outer box, instead of black, let's see if we can use that gunmetal maybe. Yeah. I'm going to use that down below for the other border as well. Okay. Maybe a little nicer. I don't know. You can play around with it and see if you can get it to a structure, a part that you want. Maybe I'll change these coloring as well. So maybe I want the colors in these two boxes, or like the text color, to be different. We can do the outer box is text or the inner box is text. Since both these are in the inner boxes, I'm going to do the colors in the inner box. So let's do color, var, and what should we do here? I'm not sure what's going to show up, but maybe powder blue will show up. I don't know. Let's save it, run it. I don't really like that. Maybe I'm just going to go with the, let's see if this one works a little better, the blue here. Okay. No, not happy with that. Let's do gunmetal. I just kind of like a little darker. I don't know. Not super pleased with this, but again, you could spend a lot of time on this. So I'd encourage you to kind of explore yourself, see how you want it to look. I'm just going to default to black for this color, just so it shows up nicely. You can kind of tell I'm not a graphic design person because it's not my forte. But again, hopefully these color palettes kind of add in a nice kind of flavoring for how you want your website. So play around with that, use the variables here. And yeah, that will, in our next video, we'll kind of clean up maybe some of the other aspects of our page.